4, dew point -2, altimeter 3021, visual approach runway 29 are in use, caution, bird activity about the airfield, self-service fuel out of service, advise on initial contact, you have Quebec. Flagler County Airport information, Quebec, time 1350 Zulu, wind 320 at Niner, visibility 10, sky clear, temperature 4, dew point -2, altimeter 3021, visual approach runway 29 are in use, caution, bird activity about the airfield, self-service fuel out of service, advise on initial contact, you have Quebec.
Wow, yeah, it's definitely, altimeter's definitely different today than normal. Let's set.
Elevator trim, set for takeoff, good.
Mixture rich, yeah, throttle 1800 now, we'll do that.
Okay.
Checklist complete.
Okay. All right, now we can get our ground clearance. And always remember who we are, where we are, and what we want. And then to help you out even more, expect what they're going to say. So if we know that we're going to runway 29 right here, and on our airport diagram, we're right here, it's Alpha 1, so you can expect them to say, taxi to runway 29 via Alpha 1, Golf, cross 24. Sometimes they'll say Delta, Golf, cross 24. I don't know why they have us go way over to Delta, but whatever. So just expect that either Alpha 1, Golf, cross 24, or Delta, Golf, cross 24.
Now, do I have to repeat all that back to them?
Yep. Or whatever taxi instructions that they're going to tell you. So that's why it's important to know exactly what they're going to say ahead of time.
Flagler ground, this is 777 Hotel Echo at the corporate ramp, requesting permission to taxi to the active with information Quebec, departing to the west.
Perfect. Beautiful. And now, we can expect. Take some little. Give them a few seconds to get back with us.
Might be in the toilet.
Yeah.
You gotta watch that movie. It's an old movie. 30 years old.
Oh.
Pretty amazing.
777 Hotel Echo, Flagler ground, runway 29, taxi via Alpha 1 Golf, cross runway 24.
777 Hotel Echo, taxiing to the runway Alpha Golf, cross 24 to 29. 777 Hotel Echo.
7 Hotel Echo, runway 29, taxi via Alpha 1 Golf, cross runway 24.
Yep. Alpha 1.
Repeat again to him?
Yep.
777 Hotel Echo, going to the ramp via Alpha 1 Golf, cross 24.
Well, cool.
Good enough?
Yep. Yep. I think you said you wanted to taxi to the ramp via Alpha 1 Golf 24. Here's the thing, when you're taxiing too, it's always good to have your yoke positioned the correct way while you're taxiing, or according to the winds. So that way the winds can't, sweep up underneath our wings and flip us over or whatnot. So the best thing you can do is the winds were coming from 320, right? So a tip is put your heading bug on 320, so now you can see where the winds are coming from. Exactly, so if it's coming from behind us, you're going to be going yoke forward and away from the winds, and this is how you're going to taxi on this taxiway.
Gotcha. Engine failure, okay.
We got that one.
Positive exchange of flight controls.
There you go.
If you have controls, mention that. If I have controls.
So if you say, if you have controls, I will say you have controls. I will say you have controls. You will say you have controls, and I'll visually confirm you have controls. And again, that's directly from the ACS. So, and again here too, for your engine failures, just make it very simple. So if I have engine failure before takeoff roll, first thing I'm gonna do is maintain positive control of the aircraft, maintain the center line, come to a complete stop, and secure the aircraft. If you can, exit the runway if you can. If we have engine failure after takeoff roll, first thing we'll do, we're going to pitch for glide. We're going to land straight ahead, secure the aircraft, unlatch your doors. When we land, egress upwind from the aircraft. Just make it very streamlined. Now, if your examiner asks, I want specifics, what exactly are you going to be doing when you secure the aircraft? Then you can go ahead and, make sure fuel cut off, ignition off, flaps off, battery. Well, put the flaps desired first and then turn the battery off. Okay?
Skyhawk 7 Hotel Echo, Flag Tower, you up?
We are 7 Hotel Echo.
You ready to go?
We are. Hold short 29, ready for departure, 7 Hotel Echo.
7 Hotel Echo, runway 29, clear for takeoff, no delay.
No delay, clear for takeoff, 7 Hotel Echo. Alright, no delay, so let's go ahead and push forward. Lights, camera, action, good.
4 Hotel Foxtrot, short of 29, ready.
4 Hotel Foxtrot, hold short, runway 29, we change this minute.
Hold short 29, 4 Hotel Foxtrot.
Okay, runway 29 is confirmed and verified. Let's get right on that center line. Camera steer at your feet. And since you have a little right crossing component, we're putting our ailerons into the wind, right? Keeping that center line. There you go, speed's alive, engine is green. We can go ahead and rotate. There it is. See how quick that was? Now pitch for 70. I want to pitch for about 74.
Why
so push that.
am I going up so fast today?
It's because it's really cold. It's really cold.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's really why I wanted you to fly today, because the aircraft performance is so good today.
7 Hotel Echo, proceed on course, leaving the Delta Spring change proof.
Proceed on course, leave the Delta Spring change proof. Talk to you later, 7 Hotel Echo.
Is this all me, or is this the wind doing this?
So if you're having a lot of pressure on your yoke, remember you got your trim. Remember, get out of the way of the airplane. Just let her fly. Look at our altitude. We just finished passing the runway, and we're already about 1,000 feet already.
Takeoff 29, 4 Hotel Foxtrot.
Whee! Okay, once you got that in there, let's get our climb checklist. So what are we doing for our climb checklist?
Flight Tower, Riddle 306, the Aeronerd 29 in the Crosswind.
Riddle 306, Flag Tower, port 4 miles.
Flaps retract.
Okay.
Engine gauges.
4 Hotel Foxtrot, request short approach.
Yeah, we're good there. Airspeed, yeah.
Right traffic.
Extra trim set.
Right traffic, 4 Hotel
Yeah.
Foxtrot.
Okay.
Complete.
Riddle 307, runway 29, clear for the option.
Clear for the option, Riddle 307.
So we don't really need to listen to the tower anymore, so we can.
150, left turn to the south.
So if you want to use that one, perfect.
Turn to the southwest, frequency change approved on either Delta 3410, thanks stop.
There you go. All right, cool. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to do our VOR navigation. So, do we have our foggles over there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I have controls. You can go ahead and I'll go ahead and get the aircraft trimmed out here. And what we're going to do is we're going to simulate that we are lost in the clouds, and we need to fly directly to Ormond VOR. So how do we get to Ormond VOR? Just a short review. We're going to go to our sectional. We're going to go to the Ormond VOR, and we see the frequency is 112.6. Right there. So go ahead and tune to your VOR on here to 112.6. And I'll give you back the controls.
I have controls.
Your controls. All right, so 112.6. So go ahead and set your VOR.
This is VOR.
Yep.
Your practice, Skyhawk.
Huh?
6 November Delta is about 7.
There you go, 112.6. And just like the radio, make it your active. There you go. And now we can listen to make sure that it is the right Morse code frequency, to make sure that we have the right tune. And there's your frequency right here. So 3 long, 2 long, 1 short. So we got the volume up. And now we press nav 1 so we can listen to it.
Yeah, I got it.
Cool. All right, so we don't need to listen to that anymore. You can turn the volume down, or you can press nav 1. We don't need that. Now, what heading do we have to fly direct to intent, the VOR?
What heading do we have to fly to fly directly?
Remember we did something with this? Remember that?
Try this.
Remember, keep turning it until that CDI is centered.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
There we go. There's the 2. Okay. It is very sensitive, so take your time.
So I think we have a heading of 120.5.
Okay, let's go ahead and turn to that heading. Maintaining our altitude, keeping those eyes dancing. Remember, the second you omit an instrument, that's the instrument that's going to sneak up on you. So very nice. Altitude is the same. Looking at our engine, monitoring our engine, airspeed. Very nice. Beautiful. Alright. Now let's intercept that original heading. So you see the CDI off to the left? So let's go 30 degrees left, a little bit more left, until this recenters. And then we'll re-intercept that course of a 120.
Am I doing good there?
Yep. Very nice.
7 miles north.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to keep flying this heading until this slowly starts to center. Again, keeping those eyes dancing, looking at all your instruments, your altitude, your airspeed, your heading, your engine instruments, listening to the traffic alerts around you. Also, look at your compass right there. See, it's 120. So let's realign that. There you go. Now let's turn a little bit more to the left. There we go. Right about here. Now look at that CDI coming inbound. Very nice. And a really good thing, good tip here too, is don't ever chase the CDI. Have the CDI come to you. Just like when you're doing a turn to heading, don't turn toward the heading. Just dip the wing and let that heading come to you.
Like I need to go a little more to the left.
Yeah. Very nice. Look at that. So now it's coming to you. You see how it's literally coming to you. Now this is a VOR, so
440 Echo Romeo, approximately 3 south on the southern tip of Lake Crescent in distant practice area. Level 3000, doing slow flight. We'll look out for the...
Alright, so we're going to continue on at this heading, at this altitude, and we're going to transition into slow. See, we intercepted it?
Yep.
Very nice, cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and maintain, let's turn to a heading of 090. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do unusual attitudes once we get stabilized here. Good morning, North Practice traffic. I got our white Skyhawk 7 Hotel Echo about 4 miles to the southwest of Flagler, 3,000 feet, unusual attitudes.
Present practice area, Diamond 36.
Alright, so alright, my controls.
You have controls.
Alright, so go ahead and put your head down at your lap, eyes closed, and we're just going to simulate you're just Looking down at your map, trying to find out where you are, and let's see, where am I here? Looking down here, don't really see much, Let's see, okay, cool. Oh, why does my engine sound like that? All right, go ahead and recover. What's going on here? Power to idle, very good. Wings level. Remember, wings level first before you start that pull. Then reintroduce that power. You don't want your nose to be too high up there, so go ahead and put the nose down. There you go, get that nose down, because otherwise it would be into a stall, right? So get these wings just level with the horizon.
Oh, that was weird. I can't believe I did that looking at instruments.
There you go. All right, my controls. Now you can look at the instruments. I'm going to do the same exact thing, except I'm going to be doing the nose down the other way so we don't get too close to Orman's airspace. So right here, you would recover, right? So, oh my gosh, I'm going down. My airspeed's climbing. My altitude is decreasing. So I'm going to power to idle. I'm going to wings level. And then I'm going to pull nice and gradually right until my wings are level. And then I'm going to reintroduce the power. Okay. All right, we'll try it again. All right, so eyes closed. Very nice. Full power, nose down, wings level. Very nice. Look at your, make sure you put your rudder though. You want your airplane to be nice and coordinated. Okay?
That has to do with my rudder.
Remember though, you don't want to keep going down. You want that to be a positive rate. Very nice. All right, so we're about to, all right, your controls. Let's go back up to 3,000, and we'll maintain this heading right here. It's fine, just maintain this heading. Climb up to 3,000, and then once we're at 3,000, we're going to be parallel with the shoreline, and we're going to start with slow flight. Dirty configuration.
I don't know.
Okay, well, look at your checklist. We got our pre-maneuver checklist, right? We're going to do our, that's the first thing we do before we do any maneuvers.
Cruise checklist?
Our pre-maneuver checklist. So if you don't see it, do our clearing turns.
And there's a clearing turn,
Remember, it's 90 degrees to the left, 90 degrees to the right, because we got to find, we're clearing the area, make sure there's no aircraft around us.
Okay. Position report.
Okay, so position report.
I already know. You're going to say to the tower.
Nope. Not to the tower. We're talking to the practice area.
Practice area.
There you go. So practice area. We're about, and I'm just going to use my GPS right here, we're 6.5 miles to the east of Flagler
Airport
at 3,000 feet, and I'm just going to say maneuvering northbound.
Got it.
North practice area is White Sky 7 Hotel Echo is 6.5 miles to the east of Flagler, 3,000 feet, maneuvering northbound. All right. So now we're going to do slow flight dirty configuration. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to power back to 1,500 RPMs. Just go ahead and power back.
Did you, are you recording all this?
Yep. Now, as you slow down, the aircraft wants to naturally tend to drop, right? So you have to add that back pressure to maintain our altitude. So see how we're kind of descending? So a little bit more back pressure. You don't want the nose to fall. You want to keep your altitude the whole time. And how you can figure that out is see if this is at 0. So if it's not, keep that back pressure. Now that we're in flap range, go ahead and dump your flaps. And now this is, we're going to keep your hand on the power because we're going to slow down to about 45 knots. There you go, 45. And then once you're at 45, go ahead and reintroduce the power. And we're maintaining 45 knots and our altitude. So again, we're in helicopter mode now, right? So power is now for altitude and airspeed is now pitch. So we pitch for airspeed. It's in slow flight configuration. Let's see how we're kind of gaining airspeed. So go ahead and pull back on the yoke and make smaller adjustments on the yoke. How about the left and right? Just smaller adjustments. Yeah, we're descending. So add some power.
440, are you up? Real 440, go ahead.
There we go.
Are you guys just going to transit to northbound?
Nice, nice. Now let's turn to a heading of 060, and remember, just just dip the wing and just let the heading come to you. Don't fly toward it. Just dip the wing and let it just come to you naturally. There you go. Very nice recovery with the airspeed. Very nice. Nice. All right. Now let's go back to a heading of 330. Dip the wing. This right here. That's all you need. Right about there. That's all the bank you need in slow flight. And see how much easier it is? Look how much the yoke is moving. It's barely moving. Let that heading come to you. And it's slowly coming. It's slowly coming. Very nice. Keep those eyes dancing. There it is. Beautiful. Alright, now let's go ahead and recover. So we're going to go full power and raise our flaps to 20 degrees. 20 degrees. And go ahead and push that nose down to the horizon there. You want to see the horizon. Beautiful. Get our airspeed building. We got a positive rate. Go ahead and put your flaps to 10 degrees now. Remember, keep that nose down. You see we got nothing but sky here. There you go. Keep that nose down. And you can use your trim as necessary too. There we go. And then we got a positive rate. Remove your last notch of flaps. Beautiful. And then when we get up here, we're going to do
Power first.
power on, power off stalls. We're going to start with power off stall. And what is the point of doing power off stalls? Like why do you have to learn how to do them? So remember, power off stall is we're simulating what happens when we stall while we're approaching to land, right?
Okay.
So we're going to set up our aircraft to our landing configuration. So we're going to power back to 1,500.
Right now?
Yep. And make sure you maintain altitude and maintain your heading, because in ACS you got plus or minus 10 degrees, plus or minus 100 feet in altitude. There you go, 1,500. Very nice. You're within flap range, so go ahead and dump your flaps. Now you're going to anticipate pushing the nose down and maintaining your approach speed of 65 knots. You can dump all your flaps. There you go. All right, getting close to 65, and there it is. This is a good approach speed. So go ahead and push the nose down, and we're going to stabilize. This is a stabilized descent. According to the ACS, you have to have a stabilized descent for your power off stall. So go ahead and pitch for 65. There we go, and we're simulating the runway is right in front of us. We got our flaps down, we got our gear down, we're getting ready to land, and all right, so this is stabilized descent, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, cool. Now let's simulate, we just passed over the numbers for our runway, so go ahead and power back all the way back, and we're going to start flaring. We got to flare when we land, right? So we want to touch our main wheels on the ground first, and you're going to keep on flaring. You want to flare because you want that nose at the end of the runway, right? This is it right here. So we're landing, and oh my gosh, I'm stalling. So what do? So power full, first notch of flaps. Nice. And then you get that speed going, get that positive rate. Once you have a positive rate, you raise one flap at a time.
Like
Make sure you have your positive rate first before you put on your flaps. So now you should be going from 20 to 10, right? So it's technically still be at 10. Don't have the nose too up though, because you're going to end up going to another stall. So right. Put the nose down. There we go, just like this, and positive rate. Now go ahead and put it back up. There it is. That's the full recovery.
Got it.
All right. Now we're going to do power on stalls. I'm going to help you with the power on stalls because it is kind of windy out here. The main thing about power on stall is what happens when we stall while we're taking off. Let's say we rotated, we took off, and we're going way too steep and we stall. Crap, what do? So this is the point of power on stall. So clean configuration, we're going to start off by powering back to 1,200 RPMs. So go ahead and power back. And again, when you power back, the nose wants to drop, so you have to counter that by adding some back pressure. Adding back pressure. Keep that altitude right there. Don't let the nose drop. Or don't let your altitude drop. Keep that nose up. Keep that nose up. Very good. And we're going to slow down to our rotate speed, which is 55, which is right... Come on. There. So go ahead and full power. And we're taking off. So we're taking off, we're taking off, we're taking off. Pulling, keep that pulling. Now we're going to simulate us stalling while we're taking off. And when you do stall, all we're going to do is push the nose down. There's the stall, pushing the nose down, and right at the horizon. So you don't want to keep the see you want to push the nose down. This is where you want to be, right here, because you want to get that positive rating in.
Gotcha.
Right, and on top of that, you can actually trim. So you're just hands-off controls. Don't really have to do anything.
Gotcha.
So the power or recovery for power on. You have the controls.
Yep.
What the recovery for power on stall is the most simplest. All you gotta do is put the nose down. All right, let's get the sun out of our face. Let's do a left turn to 330, heading 330. All right, so once you're stabilized at 3,000, we'll do steep turn. We're going to do one to the left and an immediate one right to the right. Okay, and whenever you're ready. We want to be around 100 knots today. For our VA speed. Okay. Maneuver checklist. We already did our clearing turns. Traffic call. We're in the same area. Fuel selectors on both. Seatbelts on. Lights on. Make sure mixture is going to be rich.
Okay.
And all right. Whenever you're ready.
Now steep turn to the left.
Okay. And we're going to go right into the right after we're done with our left turn.
Okay. Now steep turn.
And remember, once you bank to 30 degrees, add a little bit of power. And remember, the more the wings are banking, the less vertical component of lift you have. So you're going to have to add back pressure as you're turning into your steep turn. So keep that right at 45. There it is. Now make small adjustments. Small little adjustments. If you see a lot more ocean than sky, then you're going to be nosing down. So go ahead and pull back up. Small little corrections. And we keep that bank angle. See how we're shallowing out.
How much do we want? More?
So 45 degrees. Right there at where that line is. There.
I got you. I think the key here is the horizon.
Yep. Okay. And we keep that bank.
Yes, sir.
I want to keep that bank at 45 the whole way.
Getting a workout right now, I'll tell you that.
And then, all right, you're 330. You don't want to overshoot. So there you go. And then we're going to continue our turn right into the right steep bank. Keep on going. There you go. 45. Perfect. And we're going to maintain this bank right here. See your altitude is losing, so adjust. Make small little adjustments. So a little bit of back pressure. Just a little bit. There you go. Back pressure, and then just wait until she responds. See how we're climbing back up again? Beautiful. Airspeed is looking good. We're still a little low, so add a little bit more back pressure. Yep, a little bit more back pressure, a little bit more pull. A little more pull, a little more pull. And a little more bank. That bank at 45. There we go. Now our airspeed is coming back. I'm sorry, our altitude is coming back. Keeping an eye on our heading. Remember, the heading, have that heading come to you. Anticipate the rollout. And don't let the nose drop. Keep that nose coming up. All right. And we can level out here. All right. As I was saying before, just to get out of the way of the airplane, see my controls.
Yeah,
I'll just do one of these. Oh, you see when I let go of the controls, see how the nose is coming down like that? Well, you had it trimmed to go down. That's probably why you're having such a workout. All right. So there we go. So I'm going at 3,000 feet, 100. So I'm going to do this whole. I'm just going to do one steep turn without touching the yoke. So I'm going to have it trimmed out. It's literally hands-off controls. Remember, get out of the way of the airplane. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply just a little bit of rudder, a little bit of left rudder. I mean, don't do this for the check ride, but this is just to demonstrate that if you just get out of the way of the airplane can fly the whole maneuver all by herself. So I'm going to keep on
They're
going.
just doing it with that and the rudder.
Yep, I'm just going to adjust, and I'm going to keep on banking until I'm at that 45, which is right about, now I'm going to add a little bit of power.
Wow, dude.
And I'm not doing a thing. Airspeed's perfect, altitude, and I'm just making small little adjustments. Looking out for traffic, same time. And I'm coming up on my original heading. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that power back out and readjust. And that was a steep turn, all within standards, and I'm still right here at 3,000 feet.
You want me to try it?
Now I'm going to show you how you're going to do it in the check ride. So now, like I said, get out of the way of the airplane, but you're not going to be able to do it that way in the check ride. So remember, when you bank, you're going to lose that vertical component of lift. So when I'm going to bank, obviously I'm going to make sure I do my clearing turns, pre-maneuver checklist, make sure there's no traffic around. I want to get at my altitude. What's going to help me is I'm going to use my heading bug to put it at 330 as a reference. Another thing you can do is just look out straight ahead and find a reference that's in front of you. So when you see that mountain or tree or whatever that you're looking at, that's you know when you can start rolling out. Also, remember, this is what it looks like when you're straight and level. So when you're making your transition, this is what you should be seeing. If you're making your transition, you see nothing but sky while you're rolling out, you're going to be gaining all kinds of altitude, right? So I'm going to actually go back to my altitude here. All right, there it is, 3,000. Trim for hands-off controls, 330. Perfect, perfect. All right, cool. So now I'm going to make sure there's nobody over there before I turn, and I'm going to go right into it. 30-degree bank, add a little bit of power. While I'm turning, I'm adding back pressure. Adding back pressure, and now I'm going to do a nice little trim here. Just one little trim. Every aircraft is different, so I'm going nose down a little bit. I'm going to maintain that bank angle, 45 degrees. Looking out, and the horizon should be slicing my engine cowling in the same exact spot the whole way. Looking out for traffic, checking my airspeed. Having 330 come to me. Making sure I'm still at that 45 degree. I want this picture to stay just like this the whole way. Coming up on my altitude. Now remember, I have my nose trimmed up, so when I'm making that transition, I'm actually pushing the nose a little bit until I'm at that 45 degree, and then, whee, oh, it's really bumpy up here. And then I'm going to get right back at my 45, and notice I have not touched the power not one time. Well, after I'm not going back and forth with my power while I'm doing this maneuver. 45.
Coming back around.
See how I'm coming? See how I'm losing altitude a little bit? So I'm making small little adjustments. You shouldn't even be able to see the yoke move, literally, when you're making small adjustments. It's kind of like when you're changing lanes in a car. You know, when you're changing lanes, you're not... No, you barely see the steering wheel move. And that's exactly how your adjustments should be here when you're making your adjustments. All right, so I'm a power back out. And I did have to go nose up a little bit because I was a little low, but I wanted to be within standard, so, and that is your steep turn. All right, so your controls.
I have controls.
Your controls. All right, so again, clearing turns, you got your mixtures rich, fuels on both, lights on, cool. All right, so hands off controls, or hands off control setting, that's kind of what you want it to be. All right, so let's start it at a 3,100. So we're going to start off with the left. Let's go ahead and start off with the left roll. And as soon as you roll past 30 degrees, which is right about, let's say, right about now, go ahead and add a little bit of power. There you go. Now go ahead and add that back pressure. Go ahead and start adding it. More pull, more pull, more pull. There you go. is. You should feel a little bit of G's in there. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. And now just watch that needle and make small little adjustments. This is beautiful. Look at that. Airspeed is right on the money. Altitude is not budged. Beautiful. Coming up on your heading though, so let's go ahead and anticipate that rollout. Remember, add that push. See how we're seeing a lot more sky? See that? So that's why you have to add push. Let's keep on rolling into our 45 to our right turn. Right turn, get that nose down because we're up way too high. So there you go. Get that 45. Remember, you're not touching the power at all. Now keep that 45, get a little bit more bank. There it is, small little adjustments, and let's smoothly and slowly get back to that 3,100 foot.